It's Budget Week in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, on Now, we're keeping it current and breaking down the budget into pint-sized or bite-sized pieces so that we can make it clearer for those of you who are at home and who may be thinking, you know, all this budget talk, oh, I need to find out more. How does it affect me? How does it affect my business? Especially those of you who have small businesses, we're talking to you. So it's my pleasure to have in studio with us Nicole Joseph, Tax Director, KPMG. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank
Hi.
you so much
You're welcome.
for coming. Thanks to KPMG for supporting us this
Not
week.
a problem at all.
Nicole, so let's talk about what are some of the key pullouts from the budget when we're talking about taxes.
All right. The Honorable Minister recognized that over the last 2-3 years, he's increased several taxes from the levies, the corporation tax, the tax for financial institutions. There were some adjustments to VAT whereby a lot of the zero-rated food items became standard-rated, even though the rate of VAT was reduced to 12.5%. So he recognized that he probably, increased as much as he could. So this year for fiscal 2019, he said no new taxes. He did, however, yes, I was pleased as well. But he did make several adjustments with respect to, easing the burden for certain other provisions, like, for example, stamp duty for first-time homeowners.
Yes.
He increased the zero-rated threshold from 850,000 to 1.5 million, and that would make it housing and the closing costs basically a lot more affordable. I believe the computation, we'd have to wait to see exactly what the legislation provides.
Yes.
But an approximate saving of about 25,000 just on your closing costs. And hopefully that would tie in with all the other initiatives for the construction sector and also housing for low and middle income earners. So that would tie in nicely so that once the houses are constructed, then you would be able to access also
because
concession.
Your costs would be lower. Yes.
Tertiary education, he increased the allowance by 12,000. For persons at qualifying institutions overseas, so that you would get an additional 12,000 tax-free allowance.
Tax credit.
Yes.
So how does that work, especially on your?
Okay. So in calculating what is your taxable income, you would get an additional $12,000 tax-free deduction before you compute taxes on the balance.
Right.
Okay. There was also an initiative for a foreign tax credit for manufacturers, and I think essentially that would be in the non-energy sector, which is according to what he said. Property tax, nothing new, but it's intended to be collected. All the assessments would be issued by 2019, so that should be in full effect.
I read somewhere, though, that there was some concern. People were thinking it might be retroactive, maybe to 2016. But I believe there was some clarity that it will be from the way forward, 2019.
Yes. They did amend the legislation because prior to last year, it was actually the period where there was no property tax was up to 2016.
Yes.
It was amended, having recognized that they didn't collect it in 2017. It was amended to extend that to 2017. The Honorable Minister actually indicated that there would be no retroactive and it would be collected hopefully from 2019. And I believe the intention is in phased stages. And other than that, a couple of penalties for non-compliance with respect to, TD4s and certain other provisions within the Income Tax Act.
I also noticed penalties or perhaps some more stringent measures with regard to compliance by self-employed persons, doctors, accountants, that sort of thing. Yeah.
It's basically, I guess, to bring that group within the tax net, and I assume to a greater extent, hopefully they are within that tax net, but he has hired, he indicated that he's beefing up the staff. Well, currently it's the Board of Inland Revenue by 150 tax officers to go out there and do the audits and also to assist with tax compliance.
In terms of corporation tax now, any movement there that you want to draw attention to?
No, that was one of the ones that he increased last year from 25%. There was a 25%, 30%. There was a two-tier tax rate for companies and also for individuals. And he increased that effective 2018.
But I think commercial banks too were affected.
Well, commercial banks went from that two-tier to a flat rate of 35.
35%.
And
Is
that was
an,
effective
so
2018.
So that's an increase for the banks?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Do you think we'll see an increase in fees, though? Do you think that will be transferred to the ordinary man in the street?
Generally, they would. They tend to say that maybe in terms of the fees, what the banks actually charge.
Yes.
I don't know how much it could extend towards the interest charges, because that's probably dictated by something else.
Right.
But we will wait and see.
We have to wait and
yeah.
see, yeah.
But I don't think they were pleased generally with that increase to 35%. So
No one who has business is,
well,
is
yeah.
very
But that was just for the
with-
banks, though.
Yes, yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah.
a flat rate of 30% for companies now,
Yeah.
effective 2018. It'll just be a marginal increase, really, because it was only the first million that was at 25%.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
we have just about 50 seconds left.
Okay.
What about inelastic versus elastic goods? So alcohol, cigarettes, any movement there at all? You tend to think that that's where you'd want to go to
Yeah.
to collect taxes,
Yeah.
because people would buy regardless of the increase in price.
Exactly. So the last time I think was about 3 to 4 years ago, where he increased it, I believe, on tobacco.
Right.
And he acknowledged in a forum recently that he didn't seek to increase that because generally doesn't raise any additional taxes.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Well,
I guess people would be happy for that.
happy for that.
Yes.
But we're still looking at the price of fuel. Super. I know some premium car drivers have switched from the premium to super. So
yeah.
maybe that's one of the incentives for increasing the fuel there, because most people tend to use super now. Yeah.
Yeah, but he also recognized that the subsidy is costing over 700, 800 million, million. And if the price of oil continues to go up, then that fuel subsidy would actually cost him over $1 billion.
Right.
And he acknowledged that this is not money that he has to spend.
Okay.
So,
Nicole,
yeah.
Joseph, thank you very much for coming in studio this morning, breaking it down, making it understandable to everyone out there. That's what we do on this program right about now, though.